In my humble opinion, and backed up by many lists out there, Time Crisis 2 is the greatest light gun game of all time. So let's grab our Time Crisis arcade gun, convert it to Blamcon, and see why. I haven't played this game since the arcades in 2002, so I'm pretty excited to try it again. If there's one word to describe Time Crisis 2, it's smooth. The gameplay, action, and shooting all have a flow about it. My favorite part is the duck and cover mechanic. It lets you catch your breath at your own speed and line up your shots before you pop out. The duck also acts as your reload, serving double duty. The duck button and trigger are the only two keys used, so if your light gun has an A button, you're set. But for the real experience, it's best played with a foot pedal. Keep in mind there's always a timer going. If you duck too long, your timer runs out and it's game over. So it creates a bit of a risk-reward system with the mechanics. Your current ammo, life, and remaining time are on the bottom of the screen, nice and big. I really appreciate the icons they use for your bullets, as well as giving you a number remaining. Having bows seem a bit redundant, but after a while you start to get the brilliance. You can see the bullets disappear in your peripheral, giving you a good idea of when to reload, and giving you a total number means you don't have to count to see how many you have left. So you can kind of give it as much attention as needed. Your health is nice big red and white medkit icons. There's no ambiguity there. There's no crosshairs in this game, which I love, so you'll need an accurate gun. Enemies react differently depending on where you hit them, but there is no margin of error. Enemies shoot from behind cover, far away, and pop up between shots. Check out this guy backflipping just before I shoot. You have to be right on with your aim, and there's very little time for target shooting. You have to be snappy and accurate. Except for a few special scenes where you get a machine gun, this 9-round semi-auto is all you get. You also have to keep your spatial awareness up. Enemies often have rocket launchers that'll hit you unless you duck, and there's little details like this pan. I do appreciate the screen stand still while you're shooting, except when you're ducking, which you can control. One of the most frustrating parts of light gun games is when they simulate movement, causing you to miss. Not here. Well, except for the speedboat part, which I find to be fun, but it kind of gets my goat when I line up a shot only to have the camera veer wildly around, causing me to miss. I did cheat for just a minute and use Blamcon's burst fire mode. I'll give it to this scene though that the Miami Vice-esque music is awesome. There's a lot of fun and interesting challenges sprinkled in too, like enemies throwing down barrels you have to shoot or dodge, or taking down vehicles. The game keeps you on your toes. While this game is perfect in single player, it does have a lot of unique features in co-op. In some scenes, the second player gets a different angle or vantage point, making co-op a lot of fun as one player can hit enemies obscured for the other player, or in boss fights where the boss alternates between players. If you're playing in single player, there's a CPU that stands in during these co-op segments. They don't take out the bosses for you, but you do lose some of that unique co-op gameplay. But honestly, the single player experience doesn't suffer much for it. The voiceover is full of cheese. For some reason, light gun games seem to have the most over-the-top voice acting of any game genre, and I love it. Just listen to this guy.
We gotta stop them now!
Overall, you'll be fighting your way through 9 levels, broken up into 3 stages, each 2 or 3 minutes long. You'll start fighting your way through a city, finishing up with a high-speed boat chase, then through a forest and onto a high-speed train. The boss in this level is its own stage. He has so many forms and attacks, including at one point he just picks up a whole missile and tries to beam you with it. The last stage is on some kind of floating base where you'll try to stop the bad guys from launching a nuclear satellite. You'll end up stopping it only to find there's another one mounted on a gantry you'll have to fight the final boss on, while he's blasting you with lasers and cannons and hangs off the side shooting at you. It's lasers and explosions and high-octane action right to the very end. If I had to sum up this game, it would be perfection. It's just so well done, well paced, and just superb from end to end. There's a good reason why this is considered the best light gun game of all time, and it's a wild ride. Overall, it took me 10 quarters to beat it, which I think is pretty respectable for an arcade game, and not too bad on my part. So yeah, overall I'd like to say that Time Crisis 2 is timelessly epic. I'd also like to show off the light gun used in this video. It is a Blamcon conversion of the Time Crisis 4 arcade gun. Blamcon is Props 3D's own light gun system. It is pixel accurate and works with PC, Mac, and Linux. It is a completely free system, though we do sell kits and conversions over on Blamcon.com. It is a mostly 3D printable light gun system with all the 3D models and code. Of course, being free, being Prop 3D. And again, we do sell builds on them if you don't want to be bothered to build one yourself, but I highly suggest you give it a go. This light gun features a 3D printable adapter for the camera, an A button and a B button on either side. It uses the original recoil system. It has a rumble mortar as well as a LED for feedback. So it's got force feedback in both rumble and LED. If you want to learn how to convert your own, go over to Blamcon.com. There's a page for this gun that has a pictorial guide on how to convert it. And before not too long, I'll also make a video guide as well. What keeps Prop 3D and Blamcon free is our Patreons. If you are interested in joining our Patreon, you get early access to models. There is, I think, about 30 private videos now where I talk about the progress and my journey through Blamcon and turning Prop 3D into something larger, as well as you get to support the project. So Patreon is kind of what keeps us going. And on that note, I'd love to thank the VIP Patreons personally: Matthew Klabish, Fernando Diaz of Big Gun Arcades, Ron Steffenpool, Stephen Barsom, Philip Daniel of the Light Gun Lunatics group on Facebook, CC, Andrew Gergen, Big Homie, Chef J, Thomas Cooper, James Hargis, Jovan Fiddler, Paul Pardee, Racing Fuel, The Crooked Man, Varen, Daniel Whitehead, Ephraim Henry, Keith West, Ian Kowalski, Lee Farron, Suwon Zay of Retro City, and Bryce. Thank you so much, and thank you to the Patreons in the crawl that follows.